What's going on YouTube? I am highway.to.hill and this is my new helmet which I purchased like a month ago. So this is the MT Thunder 4 SV, the sun visor version of the helmet, and I've done about like 5,000 kilometers so far. And so this is the second video. I have a playlist on my channel. The first video is just like an introduction video, unboxing kind of a video. I talk about the helmet, the price, how much I paid, where I bought it, all of that. So you can go check that out, and that will give you a bit of context also what kind of other helmets that I used in the past. So now that I have done 5,000 kilometers on using this helmet, I think this is a good time to do like a initial review. So I'll just split this into positives and negatives, and let's get into it. Let's discuss one by one. So for me, the biggest thing is the ECE 22.06 certification. So this itself is a big positive for me. This is a big deal for me. The past two helmets that I have used over the past 10 years was the first one was a MT itself, and then my next helmet was the AGV K3. So I used both of these helmets for like 5 years each. Now those were ECE 22.05 certified. Now that certification has been around for like 20 years and it has never changed. And now finally it's moved, right? It's moved to 22.06. I think it moved in 2020 or 2022, something like that. And I think now most of the helmets that you would get would come with a 22.06 certification. So that just means that now your helmet is more sturdy, it's more resistant to wear and tear and abrasion, right? And the build quality is also good. So I'm quite impressed with this build quality. And the visor, I think the past two helmets that I have used, MT and AGV, just had like okay visors, visors just like kind of flimsy, nothing great. It had flex, but if you see this visor, it has like hardly any flex. It's really sturdy, it's thick, and doesn't look like, if any object hits the visor at high speeds, I don't think this is going to break. Massive improvement from the past two helmets that I've used, right? So for me, I think number one point is this, right? The ECE 22.06 certification. Next thing is ventilation. So you can see there is a big ventilation over here with the slider, and there is one on the top, and then at the back you have your exit ventilators 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you have the spoiler over here. So yeah, the helmet is nicely ventilated. You would never feel like suffocated inside it, and the sliders are also good. These are big sliders, so even if you have your gloves on, you would be easily able to operate either this or this slider. So that's another positive for me. The other thing is the field of view. It's a quite wide field of view, and even if you are on highway cruising at high speeds, let's say 120, 25 and above, you get a really nice view of the road and what's ahead of you. Also side to it's quite wide, you can see, right? So even if there are vehicles which are almost like 90 degrees to you, you can easily spot them. So that's a big positive. What else? Yeah, and the helmet itself is quite stable and smooth at high speeds. There is, I always feel like smooth air around my helmet. Don't feel too much movement of my of the helmet, of my head, even when you're cruising at high speeds. So I usually cruise at like between 100 to 125, and often sometimes when you have like proper empty roads, you do your short bursts of 140, 150, 160 kilometers, just short bursts. So doing those, the helmet felt absolutely like stable and smooth. And even during crosswind, so on my recent trip I was traveling across the east coast, and when you are traveling, parallel to the coast, sometimes you will have crosswinds. And even during crosswinds, I think this helmet was, it handled it pretty well. My head didn't move quite a lot. So yeah, that way I think the shape, the Aero is absolutely good. I have nothing to complain. I think, and a lot has to do with this uh, spoiler. I think this spoiler, I think, does a good job, right? Yeah, so these are some of the positives. Now negatives, right now my biggest issue is this sun visor mechanism. So this is a different mechanism. They've given a slider over here, and you have to operate this with, obviously it's on the left side, so you have to use your left hand. It's easy to operate, but the mechanism itself is broken now. As you can see, this doesn't move at all. It's stuck. This is stuck, but the visor keeps falling down, right? The visor keeps falling down, which is irritating. So I think there is some connection which has a problem. I've written to Power Sports International. I mean, they are the authorized dealers for MT, and they said they'll arrange for a pickup. That's because I'm in Chennai. So if you're not in Chennai, maybe you will have to bear the cost of sending the helmet. So I think you will have to bear the cost of one way sending the helmet, and I think once they fix it or whatever it is, they'll send it back to you. But since I'm in Chennai, so I think they agreed to arrange the pickup also, and once it's fixed, they'll give it back to me. So yeah, that's one thing that needs to be fixed. And I don't know why, when I saw this mechanism, I was not impressed with it. So I have an old MT helmet. So this is my old MT helmet from 2015. This has a very simple mechanism, right? And this never failed. I used this for 5 years, never failed. And even on my AGV, so this is my AGV K3 SV 5 continents helmet. This has a very simple, again, your that basic sun visor mechanism. And even this, I've used this for 5 years and never failed. So yeah, I had my doubts when I saw this different mechanism, and I don't know, if it's not broken, why just fix? Yeah, looks cool and all, but yeah, the important thing is that it should work, right? So that's one negative. The other thing is that this is not a quiet helmet. Yeah, so if you're looking for a quiet helmet, this is not the one, because the ventilation is good. So yeah, there'll be wind noise. So it starts from 90 kilometers per hour, and then yeah, you will, after that, you will only hear, I only hear wind noise. Sometimes I'm not even able to hear my engine noise. I know it's there is like a hum in the background, but yeah, I can't hear the engine noise very clearly. So yeah, it's a noisy helmet. There's no other way around it. And another thing related to that is also there's a lot of whistling noise, right? So if I completely shut the helmet, there is no whistling noise. If I keep it just slightly open, even like this, so that I can get some fresh air, it creates whistling noise. If I open it fully, again it creates this annoying whistling noise. The only time it doesn't give me that whistle noise is when it's completely shut, or at this position. Yeah, 1 2, I think couple of these positions it doesn't make that whistling noise. Otherwise, yeah, if it's fully open or it's just slightly open, it makes that whistling noise, and that's quite annoying. And that starts from around 50 kilometer per hour. See, sometimes I just want to put my visor down, and you just want to ride with your visor open, and you just want to keep your sun visor down. You want to get some fresh air, right? But yeah, that whistling noise is quite annoying. So yeah, that's another negative. Apart from that, yeah, apart from that, I think I'm just nitpicking over here, but I think so. I have a a long face, so sometimes what I find myself doing is adjusting the helmet up and down. Sometimes I move it up, sometimes I move it down. So I think that's also because I have a long face. It's the shape of my head. So On my AGV I never felt that, because AGV is long, right? The shape of the helmet is it's long. So here sometimes I feel I have to adjust the helmet a little bit up and down, but yeah, I think that's just because of the shape of your head. So if you have a round face, I think this will be okay. If you have a long face, then yeah, you might have that issue of trying to adjust this up and down. uh, what what else, any other negatives? Um, yeah, I think also the sun visor, it's a bit, looks like a bit flimsy compared to this visor. This is like really thick and sturdy. This one is still, see, it has a lot of flex over here. uh, but otherwise, see, yeah, it has UV protection and all, anti-scratch, so all that is there, so that is not a problem. But just, I think the material could have been slightly a bit more sturdy, and then I think probably it wouldn't have broken, this whole mechanism wouldn't have broken. Yeah, so these are the negatives. And do you have this helmet? If you do, let me know. uh, what are your positives and what are your negatives about this helmet. I'll keep bringing more updates. I have to send this helmet to MT, Power Sports International, and let's see how they fix this thing and how long this lasts. So I'll bring you more updates. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is Highway to Hill. You ride safe. I'll see you soon in the next video. Ciao.